Whether or not you're a fan of The Legend of Zelda, you've probably at least heard of the Happy Mask Salesman. Otherwise, why are you watching this video? This grinning dude with a backpack full of masks shows up in a few titles of the Zelda series, and he leaves quite the impression considering his overall short screen time. So this has the potential for a lot of people to ask, who is the Happy Mask Salesman? The Happy Mask Salesman is a recurring character in the Legend of Zelda series if you didn't quite catch that. He's a traveling collector and a merchant of, masks of all kinds. The rare ones, the creepy ones, and the Italian plumber ones. The careers and hobbies of this mask salesman are not quite the reason that he's gained such notoriety though. It's more his overall being. He's mysterious, he has non-human abilities, and he's often seen having erratic and unpredictable behavior, flipping his emotions in an instant during dialogue. He's been a character in a few games in history, so let's dive into the lore of the Happy Mask Salesman. His first appearance was in Ocarina of Time. The Happy Mask Salesman is seen as the owner of the Happy Mask shop in Hyrule Castle Town. His business practice is a little odd in that you don't necessarily just buy masks from him, he lends out the masks to you in order for you to sell them to someone else, with his goal being that his customers obtain true happiness. Link is introduced to the Happy Mask shop after a guard asks Link to bring him a Keaton mask for his son. Link finds this Keaton mask at the Happy Mask shop and is introduced to the Happy Mask Salesman and his lending, selling, happying business model. As his name states, the Happy Mask Salesman is usually quite the happy guy, but as stated earlier, his emotions can flip in an instant, and if you return to the shop after selling a mask without the rupees owed to him, he transforms into a chilling and unnerving version of himself, and he kicks you out of his shop. Throughout the game, you'll find opportunities to sell masks to various characters, sourcing them from none other than the Happy Mask Salesman. After doing some consistent business for him and selling 4 masks, he will gift to you, surprisingly, a mask, the Mask of Truth. Wearing this mask reveals to you that masks in the Legend of Zelda games can carry some powers. This particular mask allows Link to read the thoughts of gossip stones scattered about Hyrule. In Ocarina of Time, the only mask that holds any power is this mask. The others serve no purpose to the game other than getting some funny reactions from NPCs as you wear them around. After the child portion of the game, the Happy Mask Salesman is nowhere to be found. You don't know where he is, but some theories believe that he can travel between worlds at will, and when Ganondorf decided to attack Hyrule, the Happy Mask Salesman decided to GTFO. He can be seen in the end credits of the game dancing in Lon Lon Ranch though. Look at how happy he is. The second 3D Zelda title, Majora's Mask, holds a much more prominent role for the Happy Mask Salesman. He serves as an aid to Link and also a catalyst to the destruction of Termina, the focal point of the game's plot. The Happy Mask Salesman was minding his business, wandering the woods in search of strange and unusual masks, and he comes across the most infamous mask in gaming: Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask deserves a whole video on it alone, but to make a long story short, Majora's Mask was a mask used by a mysterious tribe called the Ancient Ones in hexing rituals. The mask holds destructive powers of cataclysmic proportions, and to prevent an inevitable catastrophe, the tribe sealed that mask away. How the Happy Mask Salesman retrieved Majora's Mask is entirely unknown. We just know he went through great lengths to obtain it. However, upon possessing this mask, he instantly regrets it, as the mask's power presented itself to him and the doom of a dark omen brewing unsettled him. Sometime after grabbing Majora's Mask, the Happy Mask Salesman was ambushed by Skull Kid, the main antagonist in the game. Skull Kid steals the mask, and either not being able to resist its powers or willfully accepting the darkness, Skull Kid dons the mask as well, and the rest is history. I made a whole video on Majora's Mask recently if you'd like to check that out. The Happy Mask Salesman offers to help Link by lifting his curse of being a Deku Scrub, if he would retrieve Majora's Mask from Skull Kid and give it back to him. As a Deku Scrub, Link fails to defeat Skull Kid outright, and upon returning to the Happy Mask Salesman, he gleefully helps Link as promised, lifting the curse placed on him. Until asking Link to give him Majora's Mask, he quickly changes tune, becoming irate, a demented version of himself, even picking Link up and shaking him, telling him that if he doesn't retrieve the mask, then the world will cease to exist. The whole game revolves around this concept, and in the end, after defeating Majora, the evil entity within Majora's Mask, the Happy Mask Salesman is reunited with the mask, and he simply vanishes. In The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages, the Happy Mask Salesman is the owner of the Mask Shop. No happy here. This shop is located in Nun Highlands of Librinia. He plays quite the minor role in this game, not unlike his role in Ocarina of Time. Upon meeting Link, he loudly exclaims that he is hungry, and subtly asks Link for food.
Pardon me, I thought you could help. Ah, I'm hungry.
His bipolar mannerisms shine bright even in this 2D landscape. Link can give him a piece of tasty meat from the chef in Tokay Cafe. After sitting and watching him munch down on the meat, he rudely suggests that you must want something for preventing his death from starvation. He reluctantly gives Link the doggy mask. This is part of the trading quest for the noble sword. As you traded the tasty meat for the doggy mask, you will soon trade the mask to a lady to help her shy dog in exchange for a dumbbell. In the year 2000, there was a manga adaptation of Majora's Mask, and this not surprisingly included the role of the Happy Mask Salesman. In the manga, he seems to display a more sinister side than his in-game self. Towards the end, around the final battle with Majora, the Happy Mask Salesman says,
"Looks like they're after the real demon. But now, the real action begins. And once they get that mask back, I will no longer have further business in this world, and then I can just make a quick getaway."
After the battle, Link, who is still wearing the Fierce Deity mask, gives the mask to the Happy Mask Salesman. However, the spirit inside the Fierce Deity mask senses the evil in the Happy Mask Salesman, and Link strikes him down and calls him a troublemaker. The Happy Mask Salesman picks up his mask and vanishes while laughing. The Happy Mask Salesman is also seen as a sticker in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, giving +9 bonus to leg attacks with either Link, Toon Link, Zelda, or Ganondorf. Also seen in Super Smash Ultimate, the Happy Mask Salesman appears as a spirit with the power to start battles with a higher attack power, but with 30% damage already dealt to them. Other than these minor, merely just references, the Happy Mask Salesman hasn't appeared in any other Legend of Zelda games or any other Nintendo games at all. Despite where you first saw the Happy Mask Salesman, Majora's Mask is the source of his infamy. He presents himself as a simple salesman, but comes off as being far more complex. He knows all about Link and his adventures in Hyrule, and knows the troubles Link goes through in the game, while seeming to never leave the basement of the clock tower. He also not only appears and disappears at will, but he has no transitioning animations for his emotions. He jumps from one pose to the next in the blink of an eye. On top of that, he makes a giant piano appear out of nowhere to teach Link a powerful song of healing. Also, as the world is destroyed on the third day in Majora's Mask, the Happy Mask Salesman laugh is heard before being asked by him,
"You've met a terrible fate, haven't you?"
His whole presence is omnipresent, and this is what leads to the theories surrounding his character. He is rumored to be an ancient one himself, as he has this all-knowing knowledge of the mask and its powers, and can seemingly restrain the mask while he has it in his possession. Also, at the end of the game, all the lunar children resemble the Happy Mask Salesman. The 3DS version even has the same face textures used between them. The lunar children also have many quotes that reference the mask salesman, telling Link that he has a lot of masks and maybe Link will become a mask salesman himself. He is also rumored to be a deity, having vast knowledge and mystical powers to travel and stop time. The only time the clock isn't ticking away in Majora's Mask is when Link is in the clock tower with the Happy Mask Salesman. There are countless theories out there surrounding the Happy Mask Salesman, and there are no shortage of videos explaining them. I'm not really gonna dive into them here, as none of it is truly canon to the Zelda series. I do hope this video has been informative for you. The Happy Mask Salesman is a mysterious and ominous character in the Zelda franchise, and his true identity, motives, and origin are entirely unknown. But seeing what games he's been in and what types of roles he plays can help us get a slight glimpse of just who is the Happy Mask Salesman. If you like this video, check out my video game lore playlist as I cover more notable video game characters that may have you asking, who are they? Like, who is Big Daddy? Or who is Pyramid Head? Or who is Tofu? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Peace.
Oh, you've met a terrible fate, haven't you? I don't know if any of those were good. I was having too much fun with that. Thank you for letting me do that. That was a blast. Oh.